Yo, what's going on, guys? Lior Vaknin here, and today I'm going to try to do something new, which is basically going to go over with you on the different calls I had today and maybe some insights that I got that could potentially help you run your service business in a more efficient, more sophisticated, more marketing focused way. So hopefully you can grow. For those of you who don't know me, I run a coaching company called Local Service Mastery, where we help hundreds of service business owners master lead generation themselves. And at this season, I'm taking a lot of sales calls. And yeah, I want to go over some of the calls that I had today, and hopefully you'll be able to gain some insights. Let's go a little bit down here. Now, the first call I had today was with a very interesting company that basically what they do is they partner with bodegas and convenience stores, and they install ATM machines at their locations. This company was based off in Canada, and the first thing that we checked was because the owner wanted to learn how to master lead generation herself. Most of her clients right now are coming through referrals and like different organic avenues, but she wanted to see how she could grow it even further. And so here, one of the limitations is when it comes to financials. I hope I spelled it correctly. But anyway, when it comes to financial services, and whether it's hard money lending or credit repair or different things that are some business opportunities, even mortgages and other more traditional financial services, there's a lot of limitations when it comes to advertising on both on Google Ads and Meta Ads. And so the first thing that we did is we went over to check if some of the other businesses, if they're running any ads, and we couldn't find any company that's actually doing something of that sort. So I was like, hey, you need to be aware that even though we at the program, we teach you Meta Ads and Google Ads and local SEO, this might not be relevant for this specific business because you have different restrictions on specific industries. So that's number one. Number two is that her business is mostly B2B. Now, B2B marketing in general, of course, you can generate a lot of B2B leads online and through these platforms. But for the most part, a lot of the B2B marketings are happening on different platforms, whether it's LinkedIn, where you're just reaching out to different business owners based on like the profile that you're building, or you're going to trade shows or conferences or stuff like that. And traditionally, there's less business owners who are actively looking for whatever, let's say ATM installation or ATM machine in my store, or all these different type of searches and keywords, right? These are two things. They did mention that they're seeing some organic growth, which was great, and people were reaching them organically. So I was like, awesome, you should just keep on doing that. So that's the first business. Interesting, was fascinating to learn about this, but I would say this was a maybe because they can only capitalize on parts of our company, parts of the program basically. Second thing was an onboarding call. Now, on these onboarding calls, these are people who join the program. Basically what we do is we do a deep dive into the different marketing efforts that they're currently running, and then I'm telling them where I would start if I were them. Now, when you're joining, you basically fill out a questionnaire with your website and login credentials and all that stuff. And they didn't fill it out. So I was like, hey, what happened with that? And they said, I had all the information, but I couldn't log in to my website. And okay, let's try to log in, because I know based on our discovery call that they had a WordPress website. So usually when you have a WordPress website, the login is very simple. So you go to wp-admin, okay, after your domain, and then you're able to log in. Now, in his case, this led us into a 404 page. 404 meaning that it doesn't exist. So I was like, okay, who built the website? And so he was like, oh, I had this guy build my website. I was like, great. Were you able to log in at any point? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, try to find in your email, try to find the login credentials. And he said, yeah, I have this, but I can't figure out what the URL to log in is. And so then reached out. Apparently his whole website, that was the word of the marketing agency that was supposedly building it for him. The whole website is not his website. So he must have changed service providers, or between the different marketing agencies that they work with, somebody changed it, and now he's stuck outside of his own website. He can't log in, he doesn't have the credentials. And I think that the biggest lesson here is you need to own your shit. You need to own all the different assets. If it's the website, you need to make sure that you have all the login credentials, and not just that you have all the login credentials. One of the things that I highly recommend everyone who joins the program is that as soon as you join, before you do anything, is that you install a plugin. Let me move this one over here. You install a plugin called All-in-One WP Migration. And basically this plugin allows you to back up your entire website locally on your computer. And that means that even if, God forbid, the marketing agency starts playing games or whatever it is, you always have a backup of your website, so you can take it to another hosting, you can take it into a different domain if you choose to, you can duplicate it, you can do whatever. And if shit hits the fan and your website was hacked or whatever, you can always revert back and upload your backup and basically reinstate your website in a matter of minutes. So own your shit. Make sure that everything is under your control, whether it's your Meta Ads account, Google Ads, your website login credentials, everything you own, and it's your assets. It's not sitting with a marketing agency or anything like that. So that was the second one. This was a onboarding call. Then I had a call with I would say PT/gym. Okay? Now, this gym, and the gym owner has been doing it for like over a decade now. Up until recently, basically didn't do any marketing. It was all word of mouth. And recently started using a marketer to help him. And I don't want to pay for something that, let's say he's paying $1,200 a month plus ad spend. I don't want to spend this money on something that I can do myself, save 12 grand a year, 13, 14 grand a year. Plus, they're not as good as I believe we can do internally within our company. And not just that, it's hard for me to trust anyone else when I'm sending emails or whatever it is. Sometimes it takes time. I don't want to be in anyone else's mercy for that matter. And again, that's the classic position where business owners join our program. Now, the thing with this company is that he has a kind of unique situation where he already has an established community, followers, and it's like it's a certain group, let's just call it that for anonymity reasons, it's just like a certain group of people, okay? And I was like, okay, and he wanted to reach also like a broader audience. So I was like, okay, basically what you can do is you can go through two different routes. And ideally you make this decision before you join our company. One is that you double down on this existing community, whether it's in this specific location or in new locations throughout the country. You can just be the gym or the personal training, fitness, whatever, that is catering to this specific group of people. And that would be your differentiator. That would be your brand, basically, that you are this company. And I think that this is, by the way, phenomenal. And the other route would be basically split the brand into two, where one is just cater for this group of people that you're focusing on, and the other is for the general public, let's just call it that. Now, the problem here is that it'll take you a lot more resources. And I'm not just talking about financial resources, but also like the CPU, like your mind will basically need to now focus between on one business that you figured out. Now it will split into two different businesses, because even though it's the same business, now when you're targeting on completely different avatars, separating your assets, your online assets, your social media and stuff like that, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And if the company isn't already like doing the, I would say like mid 7 figures, where you already have all the key players, you have some management team in place that's running the show, all the SOPs, everything is running like basically like a machine, and it's not just solely dependent on you as the founder, as the business owner. It's a lot of times this is what would drain you, and you'd be like, fuck, I hate the business, and it's not worth it. And so this is a much more preferred way, in my opinion, where you're doubling down even in this one location, so you have everything nailed down. Of course, you join the program, you go over it and all that stuff. Sure, you learn the marketing, but you pick this approach, and so then it's very easy to either build it into a franchise, or you yourself self-fund different locations throughout the country. Okay? So that was the second sales call. Then I had a call with a locksmith company, which, if you're following me, you know that we work with a lot of locksmiths. We have probably helped, 50, 70 locksmith businesses in our program, if not more, till now. And what this company is basically, what the issue there is that he used to be running, in the past, PPC campaign, okay? Google Ads campaign. And he used to be using different marketing agencies, got shitty results, barely covered the cost, but whatever, was spending, let's say, 20 to 30K a month. And then he was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to rely on these people. Let me build my B2B accounts. Now, these are to go to auctions, go to dealerships, go to all these different like personal relationship building. And he was able to basically get his business at a pretty good position without spending all this money on PPC. The problem is once he left the agency and he didn't put any more effort because the agency did PPC plus SEO, all his Google business profile ranking started dropping. It was because that they didn't do any work, but also he made another crucial mistake, was changing his category. Okay, so it was changing his category. Now, with the category changes, this is one of the biggest no-nos for a service business, because this is almost automatically means that your Google Business Profile will get suspended. And if you're touching these things, again, if everything works, if nothing broken, don't fix it. So now they changed it because they added some more services. That fucked the whole thing up. So now it's like, okay, I want to do it myself. All right, great. On the surface, sounds like everything's great. But here's the problem with a lot of the, I would say, more sophisticated business owners, is that they think that, oh wait, why do I need to, let's say, pay $5,000 plus right now it's $299 a month for the program, where I have a Udemy course for $30. So whenever someone's saying something like this, is A, they never went through a Udemy course, so they would know that it's something that's very generalistic. But I would always say, hey, why Udemy? Why not go to YouTube, which is free? And so you're paying a program like us, you're paying us this amount for the speed of results. Yeah, I have a brain fog. It's like almost 1 a.m. right now. So you're paying for the speed of results, meaning Google Ads, he bought this one. He bought it 1 year ago. Never touched it, never opened it. Our students within this program, you know how long it takes them to cover Google Ads A to Z? 3.5 hours. How long is the maintenance once you set up the campaigns? 25 minutes a day to 10 minutes a week. And so if you just want, oh, you know what? No, but wait, but I can get this for cheaper. Dude, go with it. Who stops you? Go do that. We work with business owners who value buying time with money. If that's you, awesome, come. We'll be happy to help you. If not, if you're just looking for the cheapest option, obviously that's not us. The cheapest always was and always will be YouTube. That's free. You can't compete with that. But YouTube doesn't answer your questions when you have them. YouTube doesn't have weekly group calls to cover everything. YouTube is super decentralized and everyone is posting just like one small bits and pieces of the information, and it's not taking you throughout the journey from A to Z. Now don't get me wrong, YouTube is an amazing source. I'm using it all the time. I'm learning so much from it. But if it's between YouTube of me spending tens and maybe hundreds of hours to learn a skill versus me paying someone few grand, 10 grand, 15, 20, 25 grand for a mastermind. Someone who's been or has done something that I want to get to. I would always pay the money. And we work with people who understand this. I'm not trying to convince anyone. Okay? This was the third guy. I was like, all right, dude. Yeah, go with your Udemy. Let's talk in a year where the cost of the program will probably be double. And then you'll be like, oh, why didn't I join earlier? And now the last call that I had, to be honest, I didn't even ask them what were the business, because A, they joined from their phone. First red flag, phone. Where we specifically ask people to join in from your computer. Why? So you can share a screen. Let's see your Google ads. Let's see your Meta ads. Let's see what these marketing agencies have done in the past. B, so we can share with you the presentation of how everything works. Join from the phone. Second, they were still in bed. Dude, it's like freaking, what was it? Let's say 10 a.m. even if you're a Pacific time. Pacific Standard Time, it was like 10 a.m. Still in bed? Like, what type of business owner runs a service company still in bed like at 10 a.m.? And she sounded sleepy and didn't want to take them right there and there. And then I was like, oh, you need to join from a computer. Oh, I need a computer for this? So maybe I can take from my daughter. Doesn't own a computer. Oh my God. We're in 2025. Who doesn't own a computer as a business owner? So I was like, listen, ma'am, to be honest, I don't think it's relevant for you. Go buy a computer first of all, and let's talk later. It was like one of the quickest calls, 5 minutes, in and out. Yeah, so those were basically the calls today. I hope you gained some insights. If you want to learn more, if you're a service business owner and want to learn more about what we do, check the link below at localservicemastery.com. In my homepage, there is a full breakdown of everything I go over on these sales calls, from cost to what you're going to learn, how you're going to learn, all that stuff, as well as client testimonial. Like with this guy, with the locksmith guy, I was like, oh, how do I know things like that what you're saying is legit, that it's actually good? Dude, and he's been saying, oh yeah, I've seen you for months now. If you see me for months now, it means that I know what I'm doing because I targeted you, right? A. B, do your due diligence. Do your due diligence on anyone, not just me, anyone. Go watch their YouTube channel, watch their podcast, watch their content, their website, their client testimonial. Do your due diligence. See if you don't just like their free content, but also if you like their style. Because maybe you're like, oh no, I'm looking for someone who's more gentle and who's more accepting and who's more accommodating. And like with all this like politically correctness bullshit, that's not me, dude. That's not me. I'm as blunt as they come. I'm going to call you out on your own shit if you're slacking. And you need some personal responsibility. And you need someone to hold you accountable. Yeah, I'll hold you accountable and I'll put you on the spot. Now, if you don't like, that's fine. But you need to be aware. So do your due diligence. See who you are building relationship with. See who's your next coach. See who's your next mentor. See if you vibe with them. I always think of it as, would I go to coffee with this person? And most of the times the answer is, by the way, no. But if you would, awesome. Do it. That's it. I'm going to stop ranting. If you like this video, if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know down in the comment section below. Of course, if you're a service business, make sure to hit the subscribe for more videos like this. And I hope to see you guys here in the next one. Peace.